Welcome back to Waxy Brown's Flower Power Hour. We're having a good time, man. It's been a good show so far. When I went up to the Capitol yesterday, Tim, you were there with me, Billy B, in every interview. One of the things that I wanted to figure out was how every one of these politicians up there defined the word expungement. And what I found out was that just like I thought, it's defined in many different ways throughout each of the different bills or different legislations that pass. It seems like everybody, federal or state, has a different definition of what that is. So I got a friend of mine that's calling in. Chris Smith from the Canna Convict Project is calling in. Chris, you there, buddy?
I'm here. How you doing today?
What's up, family? So I'm sure you saw that the team, we took a trip up to Jeff City yesterday.
I saw that.
And one of the things that I made sure that when we talked talked to all these folks, one of the things that we talked to them about was expungement, and what that looked like with Legal Missouri 22, and what that looked like with across the nation, how it seemed that the definition of that word changed all the time. First, I'd like to know, before we get into that, what have you guys at Canna Convict Project got going on this week?
Well, we've got Nicholas Glayholt. He was released originally last week on February 2nd, but due to the snowstorm, they shipped him back to Houston and put him in the hole. And he has been in the hole since yesterday, and they let him out yesterday morning. He made it to a hotel where his bus was delayed. We were supposed to pick him up from the bus station yesterday morning, but now we are going to be picking him up from the bus station in Kansas City, Missouri tomorrow morning. He's just got released after serving 5 years on a nonviolent cannabis offense. So if anybody's interested in going out and seeing him tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning at the Greyhound station in Kansas City, I know it's early, but if you want to show your support, he will be getting off the bus, and we want to show our love and support for him.
Gave 5 years of his life to the plant. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous, but we definitely want to still show our love, and we're glad that he's out and almost home.
Awesome. So yesterday when we were at we got Ray on the line too. Ray, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, we got Ray from Weed Weather, whatever. I could tell you. I could hear the giggles in the backgrounds. So yesterday when we were at the Capitol, I wanted to ensure that we talked about expungement with all of these politicians. And one thing I found out was that just like we've talked about in the past, Chris, expungement looks a little different from different perspectives, or where you're at, or whether you're part of an initiative, or whether you're part of a bill or a politician. From your eyes, being that your purpose, you and Christina, are to help these folks get out of jail, find a second chance. I want to know, just from your words, what's the definition of expungement in your eyes?
Well, expungement for me, I've been saying this for years and years. If cannabis is being legalized in the state of Missouri, I believe that every single nonviolent cannabis offender deserves at that point to be released from incarceration, to be released off probation, parole, and to be able to have apply to have their records expunged. Having an expunged record means you can qualify for college, you can qualify for student loans, you can qualify for housing, you can qualify for different jobs. You can do so many things without this nonviolent cannabis offense on your record. It completely changes people's lives. And I see a bunch of different talk in different states, and here in Missouri, we got legal mo, we've got fair access, we've got a number of different things going on. I think true expungement, if we're doing it right, we need to let everybody out. To me, it doesn't matter how much they had. If they were a nonviolent offender, they were possessing a plant. They were most likely providing medicine to somebody that needed that medicine, and they didn't have somebody to provide it at that time. Medical cannabis has only been legal in Missouri since 2018, and we weren't able to start accessing it till 2019. And a lot of these people were our medicine providers for generations, well before we were able to access it legally. And so there's no reason that they need to continue being punished for this crime, because it was not a crime whatsoever. They're actually doing a service to their community, and we have their backs. And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we can press forward with more lenient expungement. There's some things going on right now in Missouri with the legalization stuff, and 3 pounds or less just doesn't do it for me, and I don't believe that people need to serve out the remainder of their sentence before they can qualify for expungement. I think that the day that we legalize cannabis in Missouri, their records should qualify for expungement.
Okay, round robin. Ray, it's your turn. You ready?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. All right, so I've interviewed Representative Wiley Price yesterday. One thing that he talked about was, what if there was a program out there where if someone's getting expunged, it takes 6 to 8 weeks sometimes for that paperwork to go through. Chris, you know that. And so what if during that time there was a program where they got into a 6-week education course about the plant? It readied them for the job. The program was teamed up with the cultivators and dispensaries, and that's what does that sound like? Does that sound okay to you, Ray?
I think that would be amazing. I think that's, and the fact that there's that whole, it's hard for them to get into the industry to begin with. So I think something like that would be important so that they're able to enter the workforce and, show that they are good members of society.
And yes, I agree. So I think that should be the conversation, is what does expungement look like? Does it look like wiping a record, or does it look like a second chance?
Well, I think that whole reentry.
Absolutely. I don't think you can give it a second chance. I think they shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Sure.
It's a way to reconcile their past.
You betcha.
Yeah,
It's doing as right as we can right now with the tools that we have at hand. It's a whole life-changing situation for them and their families, especially if they have children. It can mean the difference between a $40,000 a year job to an $80,000 a year job. It can mean everything. It's super important. We should all be focused on getting these guys free and their records expunged.
Awesome stuff. All right, guys, that's Canna Convict Project. Chris, where can they find you at?
You guys can find us on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Canna Convict Project. You can reach out to us if you know any nonviolent cannabis offenders that are in your family or just some of your friends that are locked up. Reach out to us, email us, send us some of the information of the case, cannaconvict@gmail.com. And you can always send us messenger messages or whatever way you want to reach out to us. But we want to help, and we want you guys to reach out. We can't find these people without you, so we really need the community and the families' help to make this happen.
Awesome. And we always bring a little bit of that leverage here, that balance when we have Ray on here. And you guys can catch Ray and all of her musings over at Weed, Weather, and Whatever on the Facebook. Right, Ray?
On the face of it.
All right, guys, we're going to let you two go, and then we're going to talk to Zach about some flavonoid talk and some cannabinoid talk. We appreciate you guys out there doing what you do at Canna Convict Project, and Ray holding it down at the big KC. We'll catch up with you guys next week.
We love you guys. Thanks for the support. Talk to you next week.